Stay on top of the game with the ESPN New York app. Listen live, enter exclusive contests, and enjoy all the play-by-play action.
Jalen Brunson delivers.
Don't miss our must-listen show features. Hear Chris Carlin get Chris'd off with Bart and Carlin.
I don't need that energy.
Listen to an attempt to stump Rothenberg on DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Bang!
Catch Michael K with Hit and Run all week long.
I gotta get more K.
And ENN with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Download the ESPN New York app today and never miss a moment of your favorite sports.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
1050 ESPN New York. The biggest names and the biggest games. WEPN New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
Sunday morning, the drama in Dallas continues. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons requesting a trade earlier this week. Owner Jerry Jones meeting with the media for almost 20 minutes yesterday, saying he thinks the world of Micah and that the request is all a part of negotiation. Both sides acknowledging there have not been substantive discussions regarding a contract extension. Parsons set to make $21 million this season on the fifth year of his rookie deal, writing a goodbye to Cowboys fans on social media earlier this week. Commanders dealing with a trade request from star receiver Terry McLaurin. Head coach Dan Quinn saying it's not a distraction for the team.
We love Terry. I'm really glad he's here. And we also understand there's the business side of this thing. It's not somebody asking is a distraction. It is not. The players today, they're more aware of contracts and things maybe than they used to be, and they recognize that business part happens as well. So for the team, we're just rocking and going and throwing some great practices.
Elsewhere, Blazers star Dame Lillard returning to Weber State to be the program's general manager, making the announcement at the school's Alumni Classic. 9-time NBA All-Star Lillard re-signed with the Trailblazers last month after he was waived by the Bucks. In baseball, rain at Bristol Motor Speedway last night. Speedway Classic between the Braves and the Reds suspended in the first inning will resume at 1 Eastern this afternoon.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, coming up Monday, Micah, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Hendrickson all want new contracts, but only one of them controls their team's season if they aren't on the field. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Clinton and Friends. Weekdays from 10 to noon on 1050 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
From the Windy City in the Deep South, this is The Best Week Ever with Peter Burns and Courtney Cronin on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
You the best. You the best. You the best. You the best.
Indeed it is. Best week ever on ESPN Radio. I am Peter Burns. She is Courtney Cronin. You're like, I don't know. I don't have Snapchat, CC, but I'm told like there's streaks. Like, you know, when you go back and forth, like messaging to each other, and people are always like afraid to keep the streak. 4 weeks in a row, you and I have been together on the microphone. Yeah, I am. I'm excited. Because I thought yesterday you did great. I've been catching you on all your stuff all week long. You look energized, fresh. You've been doing 15 different jobs this week. I'm impressed.
That's different than what you told me 2 minutes ago to get me riled up, that I look tired, that my delivery stunk.
That's erroneous. That's fake news.
Accurate.
That's fake news. There is not a transcript. There is not any kind of audio of that. We got a lot of stuff.
Recording.
No, thank you. We got. Now I'm going to be really careful what I say in the commercial breaks. Courtney Cronin, Peter Burns. It is Best Week Ever, presented by Progressive Insurance. We're going to talk NFL Hall of Fame. We've got more contract extension stuff. We've got guys that have won trade deadlines done, and the Ocho is going to be celebrated a little bit later today. Without further ado, this is how we start off each and every one of these shows.
This is the biggest story of the week ever.
The baton has officially been passed with the Los Angeles Lakers. Kind of random that in the middle of August you get a basketball press conference. Courtney, is that fair to say? That kind of weird
on a Saturday, no less. Right. Like I expected there to be one after Luka signs the 3-year max extension with the Lakers, but for it to happen immediately, for him to get in front of a microphone and effectively in real time take over the Lakers as his team officially on a Saturday? That was a little weird.
Here's what Luka had to say in his opening statement and his thought process of wanting to stay with the Lakers.
I just want to say thank you. Like I said in Spanish, you guys welcome me with open arms. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Jeannie, JJ, Rob. The whole organization really opened me with open arms. And honestly, I can't wait to get started. I was kind of thinking, even obviously not at the moment when I got traded, but later on when I started playing, I wanted to be here. Like I said, this is an amazing organization. We have a trust in each other, so I decided pretty quick.
Still crazy to think that he's only 26 years old, right? And I mean, once he kind of got ready to go, once he was healthy, averaged 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, both with the Lakers and Mavericks last season. He played only 50 games, but at the end of the year, he was first in points scored, first in rebounds, first in assists, first in steals per game, and three-point field goal percentage. I don't see LeBron in those things. Now, here's the interesting part of yesterday's presser on a Saturday with Luka is what he had to say about the roster.
Yeah, honestly, I think we have a great team. We have what we need to compete for the championship. Our bring, we're already, brought, try to win every game, no matter what. And, we got some new great guys being on the team. And, we're going to go for it.
All right, so CeCe, what I think makes our show stand out, mostly because you're the star of it, is the fact that I don't feel like we try to put words in other people's mouths, right? Like I don't want to be like, he didn't mention LeBron James. There's a riff, right? That everything doesn't have to be this huge, crazy drama debate. So I want to have this discussion with you right now. Is it weird that he didn't, I don't want to say kiss the ring, but just mention LeBron at all in his statement?
You can't even throw him one line like, I'm so excited about this roster. Me, LeBron, can't wait to run it back, get past the first round of the playoffs. Literally, you could say anything. Just say, I love this team. I'm excited to play with LeBron James. Like the fact that there wasn't a bone thrown anywhere in all of this, his absence, and I guess the omission, is a bigger story than if he would have said LeBron's name and what we were talking about earlier, like whose team is this anymore? Like very clearly, this was a passing of the torch in real time with the official unveiling of Luka's Lakers, right? Like we saw it in season when the roles changed on the floor. Now you're seeing the franchise saying, all right, Luka, this is your team now. We're rolling it out for you, but like LeBron wasn't there. Not that I expect him to do it, like take off from whatever he's doing on a Saturday, no less, to be at this press conference. But it just doesn't sit right with me that we're listening for it and we're not hearing that name mentioned anywhere.
So Dave McMenamin, our ESPN NBA reporter, was on primetime yesterday, and he had some interesting things to say about LeBron's reaction or lack thereof of the Luka extension.
All we know about LeBron's reaction to Luka Doncic signing an extension is that he was out on the golf course doing his new off-season hobby, hitting the links today. No public acknowledgement about the Luka Doncic signing, and I reached out to sources close to LeBron, and they didn't have anything to pass on to me about LeBron James's reaction to Luka extending with the franchise.
So here's the deal. No one's getting me off the golf course on a Saturday on my day off, right? Especially when he's got, like, LeBron's got the bug. He hits all, and once you get the golf bug, you're in. So you weren't going to get off the golf course. But all joking aside, LeBron is a corporation. And with corporations who deal with business partners like that, normally they understand. They know the tea leaves. They know how to work the PR world. The fact of LeBron, who's pretty active on social, is not going to be like, congrats to my boy Luka, ready to run it back as well, too. That tells you something. This is not LeBron's the player. This is LeBron Inc. that has 19 different PR people. They run it through everything. Should we put out something? The fact that they didn't do anything, listen, I don't think there's smoke. I don't think there's a drama brewing. But clearly, it's not just like this, like 1-2. It's starting to feel like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And now I know who Michael Jordan is in this situation. It's Luka Doncic, not LeBron James.
The fracturing is happening. And I'm not trying to make the omission a bigger deal than it is, but we've seen this. We've heard about this going back to free agency when he opts into the final year of his contract. They are very clearly taking sides within this organization. The Lakers are saying, Luka, it's your team. We are ready to finally move past this era where it was LeBron's team. It's now yours. But the omission is the biggest part. That's all we're talking about today, outside of the fact that Luka signs a 3-year, $165 million max contract extension. It has nothing to do about the actual business of this deal. It's about who wasn't mentioned, what it means, taking the very thick lines and reading between it, and trying to see what it means for the future of LeBron and if he's going to be a Laker this year.
This is what Rob Pelinka had to say when the one question that was asked about LeBron in that presser.
In terms of LeBron's career, I think the number one thing we have to do there is respect he and his family's decision in terms of how long he's going to play. I think that's first and foremost, and we want to respect his ability to come up with his timetable on that. I think that's really important. But if he had a chance to retire a Laker, that would be great.
All right, so again, so I think you're seeing a theme here that coming up this morning, because we're getting ready to talk about Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons as well. There's a lot of things that you can do that's going to keep everything okay in your organization. Had Luka just sit there and said, hey, man, can't wait to run it back with LeBron. This is going to be fantastic. Talk to LeBron's people and said, hey, we're going to announce the Luka thing. If you want to put something out, that'd be awesome. If not, whatever. And you could have done that. And guess what? It wouldn't have been a topic here at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning. But yet it is, because nobody addressed it properly. No different than Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons, who couldn't have gone on into their contract negotiation, got it done, and not turned it into a big deal. And you Cowboys go in with all these great star players under contract. That's not the case. Here's Jerry Jones yesterday and the message to his fans when they were chanting, pay Micah, when Micah Parsons showed up yesterday to practice, not in an actual jersey and not even hanging out with the defensive players. Here's what Jerry had to say.
As always, in any relationships, there are different moods at different times of your relationship. That's what it is. Don't lose any sleep over.
So just to be clear,
that's the one thing I would say to our fans. Don't lose any sleep over.
No, that's Jerry being Jerry. Here's what he had to say about whether or not this situation could somehow be a positive for the organization. Kind of an interesting take from Jerry here.
I can be cute, and I'm going to be. It lasted into the third game with them, and we won the Super Bowl. So it can be. But again, that's to call a negotiation, parts of it positive, parts of it negative. They're positive if we can come to an agreement that fits, what we paid other players, what we're going to pay other players. All the things come to an agreement. What y'all don't know is what I offered him. And it's a hell of a lot more than you think I did. That's what you don't know.
What was that?
Again, her number is XXX.
More than Miles?
Of course
more
not.
than TJ?
Of course not. I'm just trying to say to you, we're all walking blank. We don't know what that number and terms were. And that's not appropriate right now to get into it. But my point is, I reached. Make no mistake about it, I reached.
What do you make of that, CC?
He very clearly did not offer Micah Parsons the deal that Micah Parsons wanted because it was not signed, and he said it was not more than Myles Garrett, which is $40 million a year. It is not more than TJ Watt, which is $41 a year. So I wonder, was the deal like, I want to know the number, and we all do because he threw it out there. I offered him a hell of a lot more than you thought I did. Well, was it 37? Was it 38 before the market then got to 40 and exploded? Like, he could have saved himself money in all this, but what's a couple million to a billionaire? I get that, but I just think that Jerry loves this, and that's the disgusting part about it, because this is going to continue to get perpetuated. If it's not Micah Parsons, it'll be the next star in Dallas that goes through the same rigmarole that ends up making Jerry more money on the outside because we're talking about the Cowboys. He loves this. I don't know, honestly, that he would ever do business any differently because it's never hurt his bottom line to do it this way.
You just said it. And I'm going to ask you this when we go to break. So, would Jerry Jones right now, don't answer this because I want you to think about this. Would Jerry Jones, if I offered him a Super Bowl right now, not necessarily a Super Bowl win, but a berth in the Super Bowl, but you had to go on media hiatus for a full year, would Jerry Jones take that deal? Because that is the deal with the devil. At Peter Burns, ESPN, at Courtney R. Cronin, you can weigh in there. We got a lot more, including we head up to Canton, Ohio. NFL had the herald their Hall of Fame inductions yesterday. The best of the best coming up next here on Best Week Ever.
Coming September 2nd to ESPN Radio.
First of all, I love bringing this to the public.
The Rich Eisen Show.
NFC North, top to bottom. You could say this is the best this division has ever been.
Rich Eisen returns September 2nd to ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
For over 20 years, Purple Wave Auction has been the trusted leader in online auctions, offering the easiest way to buy and sell equipment. From bulldozers to backhoes and combines to cranes, we host multiple weekly auctions in construction, ag, and fleet equipment. With our no reserve format and sell where it sits approach, you can bid on local equipment without waiting for far-off auction dates. Get registered for free and start bidding today at purplewave.com.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Coming September to ESPN Radio, The Rich Eisen Show.
Tom Izzo back on the program. How you doing, Coach? Good to see you.
Hey, Rich, I'm doing great.
Super Bowl champion Cooper DeJean. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me. The Rich Eisen Show.
Matthew Stafford, quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams.
Thanks for having me on.
The new head coach of the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson. Good to see you, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Rich Eisen, coming September 2nd. Weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
Looking for unbeatable selection and flavor? Get to Wild Fork Foods, your go-to for the widest variety of meats and seafood at wild prices. From premium beef and poultry to fresh seafood, pork, and even exotic and game meats, over 450 options, all blast frozen to lock in flavor and nutrients. Visit one of the 6 convenient locations across Long Island and North Jersey, including their newest store in East Hanover, or order online for same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, quality meat, wild prices.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Check out this true crime story. An IT manager came in on Monday, tried to log in, and couldn't. A ransom message popped up. All company data, customer files, bank info, everything's locked. If they didn't pay $250,000 in Bitcoin, it would all be wiped. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your business with Thrive, America's leading managed security provider. Start with a free cyber risk assessment at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Hey, New York City! Field Yates here. Join me and the entire Fantasy Focus crew live on August 7th at the Gramercy Theater for a one-night-only live podcast event. We'll dive deep into draft strategies, bold predictions, and league-winning advice. Tickets are limited, so grab yours now at fantasyfocuslive.com. Your ticket gets you free food, exclusive merch, and a post-show meet and greet. Lock your spot in now at fantasyfocuslive.com. Fantasy season starts here.
Don't miss Joe and Q. Weekdays from noon to 3 on 1050 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Best week ever. ESPN Radio, Peter Burns, Courtney Cronin, always presented by Progressive Insurance. And I realize that's the case, CC. Whenever they announce your brand new 6-year, $115 million deal for ESPN, I'm not going to tweet a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Because I realize now, when you brought in, I was the LeBron James of Best Week Ever, okay? And then all of a sudden they bring in this Luka Doncic, Courtney Cronin that comes in, and then now I just see it. Courtney just takes off. And then now I'm sitting there playing golf on the weekends. You and I are LeBron and Luka. I realize that here on the show.
Are you calling me out of shape and overweight?
No. Did you see Luka yesterday? Looks great.
He looked cut.
It looks awesome.
It looks like he really was putting some work in. But hey, did we see that every offseason with him where it looks like he sheds a whole human and becomes a new version of himself?
Good for him.
I'll reserve judgment in January.
Everybody looks better when they either get dumped or when they first get into a relationship. There's no doubt about that, right? Because you're going to get all right, we're in. It's a matter of and that's all joking aside. I think that's why the Dallas Mavericks sat there and go, I think we've gotten fat and happy here. I think we've gotten a little lethargic. We're good. And this is a case where I think the breakup ended up being best for everybody. For the Mavericks, they ended up lucking into Cooper Flagg. And for the Lakers, now they have the new torchbearer of that franchise. By the way, I asked you the question. Would Jerry Jones take a media blackout for a full year? No microphones. I'm talking he goes, where basically 30 of the other NFL owners go into their yacht and they don't talk to anybody throughout the season. If Jerry Jones could not speak to the media one time for an entire year, but it guarantees him a berth in the Super Bowl, not a win, just an opportunity, does he take that deal?
I say no because he makes more money by doing it this way for the overall brand, for the overall bottom line of the Dallas Cowboys than he would make financially from a Super Bowl win.
Wild. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong. But I do like it because when Jerry gives us something to talk about, it's normally something we play in the best sound of the week ever. However, we had the Hall of Fame in Canton. Let's go.
Big Magic Johnson. What has he done? He's got
winners. I want people that want to win.
Not a game. We talking about
playoffs. I'm a man. I'm who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field.
Biggest sound from the week ever.
Out in Canton, it was a Hall of Fame enshrinement, all those speeches going down. Jared Allen moseyed on up to the podium in his cowboy hat. He had this to say, talking about forever calling the Vikings home.
So as a Norseman by blood, because I am Norwegian, it was only fitting that I became a Viking. And first off, hoping to get this guy in trouble, I want to say a quick thanks to Glaze for making it happen. You helped us avoid some tampering issues, and you know what? Appreciate you working that one out. But Rick, Rob, George, Kevin, Pico, Brad, and the entire Wilf family, I don't think I can ever truly express the depths of my gratitude to the entire organization. I'm a firm believer that God puts people in your life at the appropriate times. And what you did for the growth of my career, but more importantly, the people that you surrounded me with in that organization helped me grow as a man. That is why I will forever call the Vikings my home.
That was a good opening speech. I mean, he got everybody captivated. Even the bus looked really good for Jared Allen, too.
With the hair? I love it. I mean, the signature mullet that he came into the league with, the cowboy hat, all of it. He has been one of the. I covered the Vikings for 5 years, so I covered them at long after he left because he stopped playing there early 2010s. But it is so cool to see and hear him name the people that I was covering, that I know up there, and just it really is a franchise that feels like a small town, carries a small town feel with it. I'll say that just because those same people are there. The ownership group, one of the best ownership groups in the NFL, and the Wilf family, they gave him every opportunity to become a Hall of Famer this early in his career. First ballot, absolute no doubter, and he's just such a cool personality because he's such a wild dude. The personality for him and the Norseman, like all of the Norwegian stuff he was talking about. I think that's just so cool. It's so fitting that he played for a team like that got to, like, you know, put him on that stage.
Absolute legend. And talking about legends, all of these guys that got enshrined into the Hall of Fame were those. How about this Hall of Fame wide receiver Sterling Sharp? And, of course, his brother is also in the Hall of Fame, Shannon.
The last time I was here, you said that you were the only pro football player in the Hall of Fame that could say this, that you were the second best player in your own family. Well, I agree with that statement, but
Sterling had some fun there talking about Shannon and saying, yeah, I am the best. It is. I've had an opportunity to know Sterling quite a bit from some of the stuff we do for South Carolina football, and he's always down there, and he's a character. But the fact that you got two brothers that come from that same family that are going to be NFL Hall of Famers. I mean, maybe the Watts. Like, are we going to get?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
probably the next one in line. But it's so cool watching. Friday night they do the gold jacket dinner, and Shannon Sharp obviously got his gold jacket a couple of years ago. So to see him bestow his brother with his during the ceremony, and then seeing him get enshrined yesterday, the big embrace, like it's so rare. It's literally never happened before, and it's so cool to watch on, you know, the stage like that. Him acknowledging, I was here for you. Now you are the one giving me my gold jacket and unveiling my bust with me.
By the way, how cool are the videos of somebody knocking on the door and telling them they're going to be a Hall of Famer? Like, I can't. You need to cut that into like a full hour. That and like when the troops return home and the kids don't know about it and they like showcase them at a sporting event. Mm-hmm. Give me like 7. I need a channel that just has all of that, and I'd watch it 24/7. Eric Allen, Hall of Fame cornerback, was in there as well too. He had some interesting people to thank, as well as one of our own.
After hanging up my cleats, I was welcomed to another side of football at ESPN. I want to thank Seth, Norby, Boomer, and the rest of the team at ESPN for welcoming a guy in. 14 beautiful years there, working alongside some outstanding guys. Mike Quadri, Freddie Coleman, you guys are awesome, and you guys really showed me what it's like for a person who's not involved with football to have that passion and that love for the sport we are here for. So thank you, ESPN.
Freddie Coleman getting a shout out at the Hall of Fame. How about our brother there? Awesome.
That might be the coolest accomplishment of his career. You are at the Hall of Fame, and you get name dropped by a Hall of Famer. I didn't hear anybody else from ESPN Radio get name dropped, but the legendary Freddie Coleman did. That is absolutely earned, and I hope that he relished in that moment.
I just got asked to speak at the Churchill High School, where I'm alum in San Antonio, in their quarterback club, like in November. I'm dropping a Mikey C reference in there, and I'm going to get the cut for you, Mikey, just so you know. It's not Canton. It's not the NFL Hall of Fame. But when the Churchill Chargers have their quarterback club in late November, I'm dropping both Courtney Cronin and Mikey C.
Good thing of worse places.
Yeah.
That's the ovation you're going to get, too, from the 5 people that are in attendance.
Whoa. Easy. The Churchill Chargers. Put some respect on their name, Courtney. 1997 5A state golf champion. Churchill Chargers. How dare you disrespect that? You think you're Micah Parsons or Jerry Jones in this conversation?
Clinton and Friends on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, and on the Watch ESPN app is where we are. Clinton and Friends, ESPN Radio. See you on the internet, kiddos.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
September 2nd to ESPN Radio, The Rich Eisen Show.
He is none other than the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders. Look at you, Humble miss.
The Rich Eisen Show.
None other than Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers. How you doing, Jordan? Good to see you.
Good, Rich. How you doing?
Happy to have you back. Steve Sarkisian.
Appreciate you having me on, Rich.
Rich Eisen, coming September 2nd. Weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
Schweppes, the iconic ginger ale of New York, is proud to sponsor the PGA of America. Schweppes has a deep lineup of ginger flavors, including raspberry, white peach, dry grape, and also available in zero sugar. With every sip of Schweppes, the dedication to quality, excellence, and the art of tastefulness will leave you feeling simply refreshed. It's a hole-in-one for all your drinking occasions. Schweppes, a sparkling tradition since 1783, and the perfect way to elevate your summer. Swing by your local ShopRite and grab some Schweppes.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 5th, when the Yankees host the Toronto Blue Jays, and be ready to receive the Yankees promotional giveaway. It's Austin Wells football jersey night. The first 18,000 guests will receive an Austin Wells football jersey, presented by Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Blue Jays for Austin Wells football jersey night on Friday, September 5th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Well, to hit a home run, everything's got to line up perfectly, just like when you find the person you want to marry. When it's time to propose, well, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. From their beautiful 2 by London collection to custom designs for any budget, they make finding the perfect ring easy. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 6 locations and tell them I sent you for the Michael K. treatment. London Jewelers, getting it just right.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Good Sunday morning. Cowboys' busy camp continues. Star edge rusher Micah Parsons requesting a trade earlier this week. Owner Jerry Jones meeting with the media for almost 20 minutes yesterday, saying he's not interested in a Parsons trade, thinks the world of Micah, and that the request is all a part of negotiation. Parsons set to make $21 million on the 5th-year option on his rookie deal next season. Even without substantial discussions on a new deal, ESPN Radio's Harry Douglas doesn't think Micah is done in Dallas.
We have to remember, not only are you trading for Micah Parsons, but you have to make him the highest non-quarterback in NFL history. So with that being said, let's get to the compensation part of this, Freddie Coleman. When you look at, is it 2 first-round picks? Is it 3 first-round picks? Well, let me tell you this. If I'm a team and I'm sitting up there as the big dog in those rooms, you're asking me to give you 3 first-round picks, and I got to pay him $43 million a year? You can skip down the park on your own.
Right.
I give you 2 first-round draft picks.
Douglas on Freddie and Harry. In baseball, rain at Bristol Motor Speedway last night. The Speedway Classic between the Braves and the Reds suspended in the first inning. Will resume at 1 Eastern this afternoon. It's 1-0 Cincinnati in the first. Officials announcing that more than 85,000 tickets were sold, topping the previous paid attendance record set in 1954 at Cleveland Stadium when Cleveland hosted the Yankees. That was 84,587 fans.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champion Chris Canty coming up Monday. From NFL training camps to Major League Baseball, I'll react to it all in my Upon Further Review at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing, there's a shot past the third baseman, Riley. That's into left field. Here comes McClain around third. He'll score, and the Reds have a 1-0 lead. Austin Hayes putting the Reds on top.
See, that's a perfect first inning call, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, the greatest thing that ever happened. Hey, Reds are up over the Braves, courtesy of 700 WLW. Of course, That was right before and right after the rain delays. In between the rain delays over at Bristol Motor Speedway. We talked about it a lot yesterday on Marty and McGee. This is Best Week Ever. Peter Burns and Courtney Cronin, always presented by Progressive Insurance. So the crowd was supposed to be over 85,000. They probably got that, CC. I know that's how many tickets that were sold yesterday. But, man, just a tough break for him. Absolutely tough break for him yesterday as it gets rained out after, an inning? They're going to come back in today, resume the game in the first inning. But just absolutely brutal because this was 4 years in the making to get to this point.
I just hope that when they come back today that somebody has restocked all of the concession stands. Because correct me if I'm wrong, guys, weren't we talking about how they ran out of concessions at a massive motor speedway? How do you not have enough hot dogs to go around for everyone in attendance for more than one inning?
It is. I saw the pictures. I saw all of the people talking about it. It was tough because yesterday the field looked amazing. The amount of work, all joking aside, we were talking to the executive vice president of Major League Baseball special events yesterday, and he had told us, Jeremiah Yulkut, it took 4 years from the time that this idea came together to actually putting it into Bristol Motor Speedway. The amount of work, how much gravel they had to put in. They had to get change the way they do the pit stops, the gas pumps, all of this. And for this game to not have that moment, it stinks because now how often, Courtney, something like this happens and you're like, all right, we can't afford to do all of this again. 4 years of angst, how much money we put into this thing, and all of a sudden it was a bust, and people are like, this was a disaster. That stinks because these are kind of the cool things outside of a normal Major League Baseball game that we get a chance to see, whether it be the Field of Dream games in Iowa a couple years ago or when they went over to, Rickwood Field last year in Birmingham.
Yep.
That was a cool deal. I like these out-of-the-box ideas.
I do, too, and I hope that they can continue to come up with them, maybe just in places where there isn't weather warnings consistently in the summertime.
Well, that would be pretty much everywhere. Peter Burns, Courtney Corona, as we continue to roll on. Maybe they could do it out in Oxnard, California. And they seem to have nice weather over there. Now, I don't know what the temperature is. That was pretty well done. The temperature is as far as the locker room between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. And for those who don't know what happened, Micah Parsons goes out and puts it on his iPhone Notes app. And CC, when the Notes app comes up, it ain't good news.
Some stuff.
He
aired it all out.
You're airing it out. You're apologizing for something. Like, the Notes app is never a good situation, okay? Micah Parsons comes out and says, hey, we were negotiating, but I didn't, my agent wasn't there, and I'm sick and tired of being told all these things. I'm paraphrasing it here. And basically says, I don't want to play here any longer. Now, Jerry Jones, who we heard earlier about his message to the fans about don't lose any sleep over it, but I want you to listen to Brian Schottenheimer, his brand new head coach with the Dallas Cowboys, on his reaction to Micah Parsons' trade request.
I've talked to Micah. I've talked to all of our guys, and great conversations. Not going to share with you guys what he and I talked about, but again, I know you guys are going to ask it. I get that. I'm not going to continue to talk about Micah's contract situation. A lot of great things going on. I get it. Seriously, you guys have a tough job to do, and you're going to get bored with this press conference if we keep asking it. But again, had great conversation with him. You guys know me. I'm transparent. I talk to all of our guys. Always have, always will, and good conversations.
So what's missing here, Courtney? Like, what am I, if the coach says I had good conversations, Jerry said he's got good conversations, Micah says he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. We know what the market is. It's about $41 million a year. Like, I see all of this, and I can't help but think, to a billionaire, what's 41 to 41 and a half versus another year? All of this, it seems everybody's on the same page, and yet it doesn't get done.
What it is control. And Jerry Jones wants to do this on his timeline, with all of his terms. He'll be willing to pay whatever. Watch, by the time this gets done, because it will. It will. I have absolutely no doubt, because nobody has ever, outside of Le'Veon Bell, in recent years, nobody has actually stood on business enough to say, I'm not going to play with these terms. Unless you give me the contract I'm looking for, I'm sitting out a season.
Myles Garrett just did it with the Browns, right?
He took it to the level that Micah Parsons did of, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play with these people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I can't believe I would have wanted to be anywhere else other than with the Cleveland Browns because they're paying him $41 a year. Micah Parsons will get $42 million, $43 million, setting the next bar above where TJ Watt's contract is. I firmly believe that. But it's almost like Jerry gets pleasure out of dragging this out to where you're distressing a player, where you're airing out their laundry. And that's what Micah said in the Notes app thing that he posted about how he didn't like how he was being talked about with his injuries. He missed 4 games last year, Peter. Mm-hmm. It's not like this guy is consistently injured, or even like DeMarcus Lawrence last year only played 4 games. And you obviously, heard like what he had to say on the way out of town before he went to the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I don't see how this doesn't get done eventually, but it doesn't have to be this long, contentious thing that we do every single time there's a contract extension on the table for a player of the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's Dak, whether it's CeeDee Lamb, whether it was Ezekiel Elliott, like
Zach Martin.
This does not, the playbook needs to be rewritten. It does not need to play out this way every single time. The only reason it does is because Jerry gets pleasure out of being the story, about Micah Parsons being the secondary part of the story where he is the headline instead.
Here's what Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowboys head coach, had to say about whether or not this is going to actually be a distraction in the locker room there for the Cowboys.
I don't think so. I think, look, our guys are focused on what we're trying to build. They're focused on what we're trying to build on the field and the meeting rooms. As we get closer to a game week, it's kind of exciting, and got the Rams coming in here next week. So there's plenty of things for us to focus on. We're almost through the install. So, I don't think so. Look, it's going to be talked about. We've talked about it. Anytime you're sitting in this chair with this organization, there's going to be things that are hot topics amongst the masses. But our guys have a very singular focus, and that's getting better and getting ready to have a hell of a practice today.
And again, if I'm Micah Parsons at this point, now this is almost kind of shifted for me, CC. Stand on business. You say you're not going to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys, do that. Right? If that's going to be the case, because honestly, if you do love the Cowboys, this is the best thing that ever happened to Cowboys. If somebody truly finally stands up to Jerry Jones and says, you know what, I'm not going to play this game. We're not going to do this. You shouldn't have try to negotiate with me without my agent. Zach Martin should have stood up. He didn't do it. Took the money. Zeke Elliott should have stood up. Didn't do it. Took the money. Dak Prescott stood up. Didn't do it. Took the money. Same thing with CeeDee Lamb. So they all got the end result that they wanted. But if Micah Parsons is going to sit here and go, all right, well, I always wanted to be here. The deal's not done. I'm done being a Dallas Cowboy. Stand on your business. Don't go back on the word when Jerry comes up and does exactly what Jerry's told you that he was going to do, which is get this done eventually before the season starts.
Yeah, because you're kowtowing to like bad behavior here of like how your name gets dragged, how you are shaped in the eyes of the owner and how he speaks about you publicly. If you really, I think what frustrates me about all of this is like it's so avoidable and it's just it's so fake. All of it's fake because if he says, I don't want to be here anymore, I submitted a trade request, and then all of a sudden a week later ends up signing a deal. I love the Dallas Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so tired of that. And I think everybody is. And yes, it doesn't have to be, it's a negotiating tactic. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to get to this point because there's 31 other teams in the NFL that don't conduct their business the way the Dallas Cowboys do, which is to make themselves the story, the organization's the story more than the player who rightfully deserves a $42, $43 million a year contract. It's all about the theatrics and the drama of doing the business instead of actually getting the deal done. And that's what's frustrating.
Go look in that division. The Eagles draft players. They develop players. They got 4 top-tier players that are under contract right now. And what are they? Super Bowl
champions.
That's what they are in the own division. Unbelievable. All right, we got a lot more coming up, including the Ocho is here over at ESPN. And Courtney, over the course of probably 4 or 5 years of doing this show, you just came up with the worst sports take I have ever heard in my life. And I'm so proud. We're going to give birth to that idea coming up next. Peter Burns, Courtney Cronin, best week ever on ESPN Radio.
The NFL on ESPN Radio.
That's the only thing that's on my mind during camp. What can we do to bring a Lombardi trophy home?
Camp to camp, team to team. Whoa! What a catch! 32 days until opening night. Ready or not. The countdown continues on ESPN Radio.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Pat Costello, and I'm Holmes. Go ahead.
So if Mahomes only wins one more title, would we look at it as disappointing?
Stop. Please stop.
Yeah, I would say that's disappointing.
Oh, what?
I would say that's disappointing.
Because he's
based on how he started, that would be disappointing. I'm just gonna call it what it is. It'd be disappointing.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings at 6 on 1050 ESPN.
Looking for a place to celebrate or watch a game? Look no further than Tommy's Tavern and Tap and Tio Taco and Tequila. We offer events 7 days a week for 15 to 100 guests. From family style to buffet, we've got all your event needs covered. Looking to host at home? All locations offer off-premises catering available for pickup or delivery. Inquire on our website or call your favorite location for more information. Be on the lookout for the opening of our King of Prussia location coming this fall and our brand new location in Wayne.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Friends, it's summer. Friends, it's summer, and you should be out there enjoying it. But if you're living with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that can feel impossible. You don't have to keep living that way. There's help. Dr. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he's dedicated to helping you feel better. And here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication, just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that get real results so you can get back to the life you love. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, sciatica, and he builds a plan that is right for you. Same day and next day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is never far away. So don't wait, and don't let pain steal another day of your life. Go to SandwellPain.com to text, call, or book online. SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today. Most major insurances are accepted.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings at 6 on 1050 ESPN.